Weeks turns and walks away, and Josh Reddick is coming up. Josh hitting at .268, 17 home runs, and 38 RBIs. The Mariners have not played well at home. They're 12-19 here. Now the outfield straight away, 2 out, top of the first, no score. Reddick, a left-handed hitter. Ramirez throws, and a breaking ball backdoor on the outside corner, 0-1. His last start was in interleague play last week against the Diamondbacks in Phoenix, and he allowed 7 hits and 5 runs in 4 innings. Gave up a pair of home runs. The 0-1 delivery, and it's fouled back by Reddick, and now the count 0-2.
I think in this early stages of this game, the A's are seeing something maybe they may not have been expecting from Ramirez. The report was that he threw as many as 70% fastballs in a game, and he's already mixed in all the pitches.
The outfield straight away. Here's the windup. The 0-2 by Ramirez. A fastball high and outside, 1-2. Well, the big thing for him, like a lot of young pitchers, would be fastball command. The thinking, certainly in that last start, was that he threw too many fastballs up in the zone. Here's his 1-2 to Reddick. He throws, and a fastball inside 2-2. Good life, 94 on that pitch. The Mariners losing 2 out of 3 down in San Diego. Their only win in that series was on Saturday. That was the game that King Felix started. Reddick swings and fouls it off left side. The count holds at 2-2. Felix had 10 Ks in that game and also drove in 2 runs at the plate. Now Ramirez delivers the 2-2 to Reddick, and a off-speed pitch changeup swung on and missed, and Ramirez strikes out the side in a 1-2-3 top of the first, with the Mariners coming up in the bottom half.
How long is your next couple of... And you're listening to Oakland A's baseball on 95.7 The Game.
Tommy Malone goes to work on the Mariners in the bottom of the first after the A's went down 1-2-3. The A's back home a week from tonight to take on the Red Sox. Is on the road for 7-3 here and 4 against the Rangers. Back home Monday, first of 3 against Boston. Then the Mariners come in for the final 3 before the break. So here's Ichiro's batting at .273, 4 home runs, 26 RBIs. Back batting leadoff after he spent about 6 weeks batting third for Seattle. So here's Tommy Malone at 7-5, a 4.13 ERA. Ichiro swings and pops it up. Third base out into foul territory, and that's going to be out of play. He is on defense. Brandon Moss at first, Jamal Weeks at second, the shortstop Cliff Pennington, Brandon Inge over at third, Kurt Suzuki back behind the plate. The outfield, Seth Smith in left, Coco Crisp in center, and Josh Reddick in right. Bob Melvin said that Derek Norris will be starting the game here tomorrow night behind the plate. Here's the 0-1 by Malone, the delivery to Ichiro, and here it is, and that's taken inside. A lot of who catches Vince will depend on the matchup with the starting pitcher that night.
Yeah, it's no longer worry about, well, he'll face lefties, and he won't. It's strictly maybe splitting these 2 guys up with the rotation.
Here's the pitch, and Ichiro, it's a fly ball left field. Smith is going back. It's playable, and he's back there, and he makes the catch, and that's out number 1. That'll bring up Franklin Gutierrez. In other words, Suzuki was supposed to catch yesterday if McCarthy had made the start. The reason Norris was in the game was because A.J. Griffin was making his major league debut, and Norris was familiar with Griffin, had caught him up in Sacramento in AAA.
And that was the case at the beginning of the year when Anthony Recker was the backup, then later on Josh Donaldson. Is that Bob Melvin wanted Kurt Suzuki specifically for McCarthy and Colon, and then the majority of the rest, but those 2 veterans wanted the veteran backup.
So here's Franklin Gutierrez, the oft-injured center fielder. He takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1 from Malone. 1 out. Bottom of the first, there's no score. The A's and the Mariners for the 8th time this year. Second series up here. Seager is on deck. The pitch to Gutierrez. Swung on and missed, 0-2. Tommy Malone, brilliant last time out against the Dodgers on Wednesday. Complete game 3 hitter. 112 pitches, won the game 4-1. ERA is microscopic at home at 0.99. The outfield slightly toward right for Gutierrez. The pitch to him is swung on line up the middle, and a base hit center field for Franklin Gutierrez. He missed a lot of time this year with a torn chest muscle, but since he's come back off the DL, he's been swinging a hot bat. So Gutierrez singles to center. He's now 7 for his last 12.
Eric Wedge was impressed with the timing, given the amount of time that he had spent away from Major League pitching, back-to-back changeups, and might have been sitting back looking for it. He didn't seem that fooled as he was on the previous pitch.
Here's Kyle Seager, the third baseman. He's batting at .262, 10 home runs and 45 runs batted in. 1 out, 1 on, bottom of the first, no score. The outfield, a big gap in right center. Seager, a left-handed hitter. Malone delivers a fastball outside 1-0. Remember a couple years ago that serious stomach ailment that shelved Franklin Gutierrez. He was sick for a long time.
A lot of tests, a lot of wonderment, a lot of discomfort.
So now the 1-0 delivery to Seager, and Suzuki sets up outside. Malone fires. It's swung on a miss on a fastball, and the count 1-1. Seems like a long time ago. I guess it was that the A's opened the season in Tokyo against Seattle. And you were there with Johnny D. Or with Ray, right?
With Ray,
yeah, with Foss. So now the 1-1 pitch. Seager waits, and Malone fires, and the pitch is foul back, a fastball on the count 1-2. The A's and Mariners split the 2 games in the Tokyo Dome.
You know, you look at the A's batting average against in the 7 previous games against the Mariners, it's an anemic .218. The reality is King Felix started 3 of those games. 3 of the first 8 games of the season, the A's were forced to deal with King Felix. That'll do that to a lot of clubs.
No doubt. 1 out, 1 on, bottom of the first, no score. Malone, lefty on lefty. Here's the delivery, and it's on the inside corner. Ring him up, and Seager can't believe it. Well, it might be an ample strike zone for Bill Miller back there. So Seager is rung up by Miller, 2 away, and that'll bring up the former Yankee Jesus Montero.
Well, I think if you're a young pitcher, and both Malone and Ramirez qualify, at least in terms of Major League experience, you welcome that. You are happy to see that the home plate umpire is not afraid to fire that arm.
Well, we've talked about this a lot with Malone, and he's lamented after some of his starts on the road that he hasn't been as aggressive as he is at home. Here's the delivery to Jesus Montero. Swung on line, drive to center, but Coco is there at knuckles, and he can't make the play. That rolls away from him. Gutierrez around second. He's going to third, and safe at first is Montero. Coco seemingly had a play on that ball. Line drive right to him. Then it must have been moving around on him. Reached down the glove. The ball hit the glove, and he lost it. Fell down to the grass, and the Mariners, with 2 out, have runners at first and third.
It definitely changed directions as Coco got the break on it, and it was a good break coming in and over toward left center, began to cut back in the other direction toward straightaway center and toward right center field, and just did not get it in the mitt.
It's a base hit. Now Justin Smoke is coming up. That was a very well-hit ball. So Smoke batting at .214, 11 homers, 32 RBIs. Gutierrez over at third. Montero at first. Malone in trouble in the bottom of the first. Smoke, the former Texas Ranger. Suzuki sets up outside. Now the delivery. Fastball for a strike, and it's 0-1.
Tommy is more of a fly ball pitcher, but Smoke's hitting A double plays, and he could use that right here.
Don't need 4, though, Vinny.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now here's the pitch to Smoke. Taken inside. I mean, they would take 4 outs. Maybe 1 would carry over to the bottom of the 7th.
Well, when you're batting .214 like Smoke is, he probably feels like every swing is 2 outs.
So Smoke at the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bottom of the first, 2 away. Yeah, .214 for him, 11 homers, 32 RBIs. And now Malone sets, kicks. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed. And the count 1-2. But for Malone, trying to take the home mindset into his starts on the road. Be aggressive, get ahead in the count. Don't get into hitters' counts. And that's happened too often for him on the road. Outfield a gap in right center. Gutierrez leads at third. Montero from first. Here's the 1-2 to Smoke. The delivery on the way, and it's taken inside 2-2. But if you're going to be aggressive on the road, you might as well do it here. It's usually a great pitcher's part. Coco in center, a step or two toward left center, left and right straight away. First base side of the rubber. And now the 2-2 pitch is swung on, cute on the ground to first, right on the bag to Moss, and he just tags the bag, and the inning is over. Smoke is out 3 unassisted. The Mariners leave runners at first and third, and after 1, no score.
Next stop, play ball. For an easy way to get to an afternoon game, ditch the car and hop aboard a Capital Corridor train. It's easy to find one that fits your schedule and your wallet with a 25% discount on train travel to all A's home games. Get on board Capital Corridor to get where you want to
Move your home inside and out. Lowe's, never stop improving. Offers valid through 6/27. Additional charges may apply. See store for details.
In the Barria's new sound for sports.
Cespedes leads off for the A's. Top of the second, there's no score. Cespedes, Smith, and Inge against Erasmo Ramirez. He struck out the side in the first. The Mariners left runners at first and third in the bottom of the first. Now Cespedes batting at .270. The pitch to him is taken for a strike on the outside corner, a slider. Clutch base hit for the A's in that dramatic bottom of the ninth yesterday against Santiago Casilla. Center field, Gutierrez, step or two toward right center. Olivo sets up away. The pitch is swung on straight foul, right side out of play. Cespedes figures to play in the outfield tomorrow night. Maybe center field because Bob Melvin's talking about giving Coco the night off tomorrow. Brandon Hicks will be playing somewhere on the infield for the A's tomorrow against the left-hander Jason Vargas. Here's the 0-2 to Cespedes outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. The story of Erasmo Ramirez getting to the big leagues is a pretty interesting one. He's only 22 years of age. He was signed by the Mariners at the age of 17. From Nicaragua. Now the delivery on the way, and it's swung on a high pop-up right side. That's foul. That's out of play. Despite the fact that baseball is very popular in Nicaragua, there haven't been too many ball players who've made the big leagues from that country. And one reason, not a lot of money for equipment, for organized ball teams to play. A lot of needy children looking for help with equipment and money down in Nicaragua as far as getting started playing baseball is concerned. Now the 1-2 delivery on the way, and it's taken outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Apparently, there's a gentleman who lives in Chicago who's from Puerto Rico by the name of Moises Santiago. A very interesting story about Mr. Santiago and Erasmo Ramirez and their relationship. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on bloop into short center field. The second baseman Ackley back there to make the catch. Jeff Baker does a great job covering the Mariners for the Seattle Times. Wrote a story in mid-March back in spring training about how Mr. Santiago was very interested, especially because he was a coach for about 25 years and played ball in his native Puerto Rico to help out some of the kids in Nicaragua. And he sent equipment down there to some of the needy teams and players in that country, and also visited Nicaragua. Here's Seth Smith, a left-handed hitter with 1 out in the top of the second, no score. Ramirez throws. It's drilled to deep center. Gutierrez going back at the track. He is going to watch it fly. A straightaway center field home run for Seth Smith. And here in the top of the second, the A's have taken a 1-0 lead. Man, that was really tagged. You hit one out to center field here, and you really hit it.
Well, Seth Smith, under the radar, has really probably had several long home runs. We talk about blast that Moss had in Colorado, the upper deck, Cespedes at home against these guys. But, Seth Smith, left center to right center, he's hit some fairly long ones himself.
So that'll bring up Brandon Inge with the A's leading 1-0. Number 8 for Smith, and the pitch on the way is taken strike on the inside corner. Anyway, the story of Moises Santiago, he visited Nicaragua when Erasmo Ramirez was just 14 years of age. Visited many of the ball diamonds there, saw a lot of the kids play. Check swing bouncer to second. Up with it, here's the throw by Ackley for the out, 2 away. And while he was there, Ramirez's mother begged Santiago to watch her kid play, which he did. And at that time, Erasmo Ramirez, just a kid, thin little kid, but he threw hard. And according to Santiago in this Jeff Baker article, he threw hard, had a very good arm, but had bad mechanics. And so Moises Santiago, instrumental in teaching young Ramirez how to throw properly, use proper mechanics. Here's a breaking ball to Brandon Moss outside for ball one, and also eventually was able to intervene on behalf of Erasmo Ramirez and get him into a baseball academy in El Salvador. The 1-0 pitch swung on and missed, 1 ball, 1 strike, and it was while he was playing and going to school at this academy in El Salvador that Erasmo Ramirez was discovered by a Mariners scout who signed him at the age of 17. Now the 1-1 pitch, swung on, bounce, foul down the first base line, and the count 1-2.
Well, families in Latin America and Central America certainly know that there is quite a path if a member of your family can play just professional baseball in the United States.
Now the 1-2 to Brandon Moss by Ramirez. He's ready. The turn. Here's the pitch with 2 out, nobody on. And it swung on and missed. Moss is down on strikes, but he is on the board on the home run to center by Seth Smith. And after 1.5, it's 1-0 Athletics.
Chevrolet, great fuel economy. And you're listening to Oakland A's Baseball on 95.7 The Game.
We go to the bottom of the second. The A's lead 1-0 on the home run to center field by Seth Smith. Saunders, Olivo, and Ackley for the Mariners against Tommy Malone. We'd love to see you when the A's get back home. It'll be a week from tonight as the A's begin a 3-game set against the Boston Red Sox. The second game of that series features the fireworks show after the 7:05 game on Tuesday, July 3rd. So it's 1-0. And here's a delivery by Malone to Saunders, who's had a good year taken for a strike on the outside corner. This is a kid from British Columbia whose lifetime average in the big leagues before this year was under 200. He's hitting 267 with 8 home runs. And the pitch by Malone is outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. So the A's opened the season against the M's in Tokyo. They split the 2 games. Then with the resumption of the campaign at the Coliseum, that didn't go very well for the A's. The delivery is on the inside corner, a strike, 1-2. The Mariners at the Coliseum won the 2 games there. Then they came up here in mid-April and played a 3-game set, and Seattle took 2 of those 3 games. Outfield a gap in left center. The 1-2 delivery is just inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Eric Wedge, the former Indians manager, in his second season at the helm here. Lean ties for the Mariners for the last decade or so. The 2-2 is swung on, ripped down the right field line, a foul ball in the corner. Seattle lost 95 games last year, 67 and 95, and they lost 101 games in 2010. So Michael Saunders, a left-handed hitter. The A's lead 1-0. He's leading off in the bottom of the second at Safeco. And the pitch, and it's swung on, lifted to left field. Smith going back and over toward the line, nearing the track. Has room. He's there, and he makes the catch. Saunders flies to left, and Olivo is coming up. The veteran catcher who came up in the A's organization. A's lead 1-0. You know, amazing, Vince. I'm not sure, and I've been doing these games for 17 years with the A's. I've seen or been part of 4 more compelling 9th innings. Beginning on Thursday, the A's against the Dodgers. It was just amazing. Every game coming right down and compelling, coming right down to the final at bat.
And it wasn't just things at the plate. There were a lot of things happening in the field as well.
And the intensity in the crowd. Here's the delivery to Olivo, swung on and missed. No balls and 1 strike.
You got young players like Derek Norris and Brandon Hicks participating in that. Young pitchers involved, A.J. Griffin, Travis Blackley, and others. It's an unforgettable experience and something that really exponentially moves them forward.
Here's Miguel Olivo taking a strike on the outside corner, 0-2. And I guess, and a lot of people have written, I think Melvin said it was poetic justice that the A's won the game yesterday after that missed call by Todd Tichenor on the ball hit down the right field line by Smith. Olivo waves at a pitch a foot outside. That's kind of his M.O. And he's down on strikes, 2 Ks for Malone, and that'll bring up Dustin Ackley. Ackley, a left-handed hitter, former #1 pick out of North Carolina. 1-0 A's in the second. Malone's delivery is taking a strike in the outside corner. Malone has given up 2 hits. He worked out of a first and third situation in the bottom of the first. Here's his 0-1 pitch. Swung on, lifted down the left field side. A long run into foul territory. The ball drops untouched. Malone he's like almost a senior member of the A's starting rotation now. Man, that is a young rotation.
Well, I mean, Tyson Ross has the most starts of the rotation as it is comprised right now. He's made 19 big league starts. So it's a young group moving forward for a stretch. We'll see how the A's can hold up.
The 0-2 to Ackley with 2 out. Here it is. That's taken just outside 1-2, especially over the 4-game series in Texas beginning Thursday night. And that will really be a test. Now the 1-2 pitch. Swung on line to left. Smith coming on, but he's going to have to play that one on a hop. And so Ackley goes the other way. Lines a base hit to left. And he'll take any hit he can get. Ackley batting .219 this month. And that'll bring up the former Cardinal Brendan Ryan. He's a native of Southern California. One nothing A's. That was the Mariners' third hit. Outfield, a gap in left center. Coco in center, shaded toward right center. Ryan's a right-handed hitter. The A's leading 1-0. The pitch is taken for a strike. How about A.J. Griffin after he gave up the 2-run home run to Posey, going back in the A's dugout, announcing to his teammates, guys, those are the only 2 runs I'm going to give up today.
That's something that's reserved for veterans, make those kind of statements.
I think the guys in the dugout were astonished. The 0-1 pitch is in the dirt, gets away, not far enough. Holding it first is Ackley.
But you know what? He backed it up.
He did.
And by backing it up, he gets an additional stripe on his sleeve for that. And you know, we talked about it yesterday. He's not overpowering. You know, he's 90, 91 miles an hour, but he still trusted and, more importantly, commanded the fastball. Wasn't afraid to work inside.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out, runner at first, bottom of the second, 1-0 A's. Malone checks and delivers, and it's taken inside. Only finished by retiring 16 of the last 18 batters he faced.
I thought it was impressive that Derek Norris on that changeup that Posey hit out. He took the blame, if you will, on the pitch selection.
The 2-1 pitch is taking a strike, and it's 2-2. That was on the post-game interview with you.
Right.
Which I thought was very revealing, and that was a class move, I thought, by Norris.
And then even then A.J. today with Ray said, you know, I had the right pitch. I just shouldn't have put it right down the middle at his belt. So he felt that he had the right call there. He just didn't execute it.
Here's the 2-2 pitch instead of throw to first, not in time. The Mariners batting in the bottom of the second, game 1 of the 3-game series. The A's lead 1-0. Well, games like that lead to a lot of discussion afterward. Here's the 2-2. Here it is, and it's swung on a high pop-up. Rim of the outfield grass at second. Weeks is there under it, and he makes the catch. After 2 complete, 1-0 Athletics.
You've heard it over and over again. Mortgage rates are at historical lows. But can you really?
After 2, the A's lead the Mariners 1-0. Third inning, here's Vince.
Kurt Suzuki starts things off for the Athletics against the Ramirez, followed by Cliff Pennington, then back to the top with Coco. Right-hander deals, and the slider's banged left side of the hole. In front of it is Ryan. Throws flat-footed on the bounce, picked up by Smoke. 1 pitch and 1 out. Nice play by Ryan, who is as slick as a defender you'll find in the American League. Tremendous range, and so much so that he didn't take it on the backhand. He got in front of it, and then literally from a step on the outfield grass and with no momentum whatsoever, still got enough on the throw across to get Suzuki. So quickly 1 down. Here comes Pennington. Cliff, a switch hitter, batting from the left side, hitting .213 against the league. 2 homers and 15 driven in. Outfield playing him the pull. And Ramirez to the plate. A changeup floats to the outside corner. Strike one. This kid's pitching. I mean, with the discussion about he's a fastball guy, we've seen command of multiple pitches early in this contest. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Backed it up with another changeup, and it fooled Pennington. He was way out in front for strike 2, and it's 0-2.
You want to learn how to throw a changeup, just watch King Felix pitch.
Good guy to hang around. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Blew it by him. High octane at 95 miles an hour. That was Felix-like, the way he carved up Pennington. That's 5 Ks for Ramirez. He's a smaller version of King Felix. You know, the A's come to town for the series, and they come into a series against the Mariners knowing that they're not facing Hernandez. Look, you're pretty happy about it. And yet this kid is he's out there pitching like he thinks he's old number 34. Now Coco. He struck out looking on a 94-mile-an-hour sinker on the outside corner. He takes a breaking ball inside. But now the second time through. Let's see what adjustments are made by both sides. Oakland leading on a Seth Smith long ball to center field, 1-0. Here comes the 1-0. Changeup, a wave and a miss. 1-1 the count. The A's continue to be the best team scoring runs in the American League in the month of June at 117 coming into the contest. Second OPS to the Angels. One ball and one strike. And the righty fires. Fastball broken bat pop-up. Shallow right, Ackley out. Ichiro in, and Suzuki's there to make the one-handed catch. The A's go 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the third. And the A's lead at 1-0.
Or 1 5-hour energy. For more information, go to 5hourenergy.com.
Individual.
Against the A's, a fly ball to left field his first time. And a fastball strike to the left-hand swinger. It's 0-1. Ichiro's on-base percentage as play began today, a dismal 301. The one-strike pitch, missing low and outside. He always bails out on every delivery, falling out of the batter's box, left-handed. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. The wind and the 1-1. Fastball on the inside corner. A called strike, and it's 1-2. One thing that Bob Melvin has talked about watching the maturing process of Tommy Milone on the mound is he wants him to start using a front door cutter to left-hand batters. 1-2 offer. This one outside a fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ichiro now over 2,500 hits in his career. Fouls back the next pitch. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ichiro now 38 years of age. He won't turn 39 until the offseason, until late October. Is there enough in the tank to get him to 3,000 hits on U.S. soil? A swing and a foul back. And the count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And more importantly, are the Mariners the ones that are willing to endure some of these numbers that Ichiro has on a downward trend in order to see him realize that important goal? Hit .272 last year, his lowest batting average in the States. 2-2, fouled back over the screen. He rarely walks. Hits a lot of singles. He's had over 300 at-bats already, not even at the halfway point of 2012. Another 2-2 from Malone. Swung on, popped up, third base side, and that one will reach the seats as well, past the end of the A's dugout.
We're going to find out during the offseason, won't we?
If it gets that far. If there's no movement on potentially Ichiro staying around here beyond 2012. Otherwise, he is a free agent. Outfield the other way for Suzuki. Another 2-2. Swing and a foul back. He fights off one pitch after another. This at-bat now has reached 9 pitches between Ichiro and Malone, starting the bottom of the third, with Oakland in front 1-0.
You just wonder if there's a market for Ichiro now. You wouldn't have said that 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, where does he fit? He's got 2,510 hits in the United States. A ground ball up the middle. To his right is Weeks. He can't get it. It's under his glove and into shallow center field. Make that 2,511 now for Ichiro. A 10-pitch battle that he wins with a ground ball single to the right of Weeks, who was not shaded up the middle. He was more in pull mode, and he couldn't get to it moving to his right.
He has been hot. Excuse me, he has been hot. 6-game hitting streak, and during that time he's 12 for 24. I wonder if he were to go, let's say, to a contender and big crowds every night, if that might energize him, might jumpstart his career.
You would think that would be a selling point, but the one thing about Ichiro is that he's done the same thing every day. I mean, that's one of the impressive things about Suzuki. His work ethic is unparalleled. Now Gutierrez stands in, and he takes inside ball one. I mean, the routine that he does every at-bat, every day we see him even before stretch, is light jogging out in the outfield grass as he prepares for that day's work.
He's still a very good right fielder.
Mm-hmm. Gutierrez, a former Gold Glover in center field, right-hand batter. A's leading 1-0. Ichiro at first, and he'll draw a throw. Almost was leaning. He does get back with the right hand. He has 10 steals. He's been caught twice. Gutierrez missed the first 41 games last year, and then the last 33. The stomach issues and the left oblique injury. 1-0 pitch, swung on ground ball to short. Weekly hit picked up by Pennington. Underhands the Weeks for one. Relay to Moss for two. The A's turn it 6-4-3. And erases Ichiro. 2 outs, bases empty now for Kyle Seager. Gutierrez hit it off the end of the bat. Good pitch by Malone. Now Seager, a strikeout victim, looking his first time up. Seager's a guy that has risen in the ranks to the number 3 hitter, normally reserved for the most productive hitter on your team. He takes a slow curve low, ball one. The kid that was a college teammate of Dustin Ackley at North Carolina. He was a 3rd-round pick in 09. Lefty on lefty, the 1-0. Swung on high, fly ball to shallow center. Coming in for it is Coco. And Crisp is there. He'll squeeze it. It's an inning-ending fly ball from Seager, and that concludes the 3rd for the Mariners. No runs a hit, a double play, and nobody left. On to the 4th in the Pacific Northwest. A's lead it 1-0.
Get the latest scoop on the Oakland.
I'm Tommy Malone, and you're dialed into Oakland A's baseball on 95.7 The Game.
Head to the top of the 4th inning from Safeco Field in Seattle. A's on in front 1-0 on a Seth Smith 2nd inning blast. Jamiel Weeks starts off the 4th. First pitch breaking ball over for strike one from Ramirez. Reddick and Cespedes to follow. Jamiel took strike 3 on a comeback fastball in the 1st. Seager in on the grass at 3rd base. And the 1-strike offer. Too tight. 1-1 the count. Jamiel's on-base percentage in the month of June is a more than respectable .362, as he has, at least for the moment, settled into that number 2 spot after being primarily the leadoff man for the first 2.5 months, 3 months. Roller towards short and right at Brendan Ryan. Over to first in time, and there's one away. This broadcast is brought to you by OaklandAthletics.com, your one-stop shop for all things A's. For your A's news, scores, live video, tickets, merchandise, and more, visit OaklandAthletics.com. Just underway on a 7-game road trip back in the American League. 3 in Seattle, 4 in Texas. The American League won the interleague battles again this season, 142-110. 9th consecutive year the American League is on top. Slow curve to Reddick, and it's over for strike one. This kid is establishing the ability to throw a curveball for a strike to start off in a bat, as well as that live fastball. He's not pitching like a 22-year-old, I'll tell you that. 0-1. Fastball way inside, pushes Reddick out of the way. 1-1 the count. Travis Blackley tomorrow draws Jason Vargas. That'll be the 2nd game of the series, 7-10 first pitch. Here comes the 1-1. Swung on, bounced up the first baseline and foul. Came in with a breaking ball. That's strike 2, and it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Travis Blackley, who was originally a member of the Mariners organization, was one of their top prospects surgeries and countries ago. The Melbourne, Australia native will go to the mound tomorrow. 1-2 fastball just off the outside corner. Close take by Reddick. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
96 on that fastball.
Travis signed as a free agent back in 2000 with the Mariners, and he'll pitch against them tomorrow. 2-2. Fastball again, just wide. And it's a full count of 3-2.
Played for Bob Melvin here. Of course, Melvin managed the Mariners for 2 years. Won 93 games for Seattle back in 03.
3-2 pitch, off speed, taken inside and low. So Ramirez let that bat get away, and Reddick takes the walk. Only the second base runner. The only hit tonight for the A's was the home run by Smith to a straightaway center. And now Cespedes will bat.
Had an older ball club, and that was the last hurrah for a lot of those guys that season in 03 with Melvin. And they struggled. They lost over 90 games the next year.
They have Catcher Dan and Edgar Martinez.
Exactly.
My, oh my.
Yuenas 5 for his last 21. He's got Seager very deep at third. Saunders, the left fielder, toward left center. A good slider from Ramirez, swung on and missed to the outer part of the plate for strike 1.
Dan Wilson is here tonight working on radio for the Mariners.
He is. They continue to rotate as partners for Rick Riz. Dave Alley's done some work. Hendu will be here over the weekend. Dave Henderson. Ken Levine, Ken Wilson, Ron Fairley all have sat in that chair next to Rick Riz. 0-1. Fastball runs inside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Tough to replace Mr. Niehaus.
You don't do it. Speaking from experience, you don't do it. You just move on. Blackley won 17 games for the Mariners AA affiliate back in 2003. He was 17-3 that year. Toss back to first to keep Reddick close. Josh swiped another base yesterday against the Giants, his 8th without being caught this year. You know, he's got an outside chance of maybe being a 2020 player for Oakland. A's lead it 1-0 in the 4th. Here's the pitch, swung up, bouncing ball to third, coming in on the short hop, caught by Seager, goes to second for 1. The relay by Ackley in time, and they take it around the horn. 5-4-3. Seager, the key on that play, coming to the baseball instead of letting it play him, and that allowed the Mariners to turn a 5-4-3 twin killing. At the end of 3.5, it's still 1-0 Oakland.
Baseball is in full swing, and that means it's time for great tailgate parties. This is Chef Joey All.
Jesus Montero stands in, bottom of the 4th inning. Oakland in front 1-0. Malone facing Montero, Smoke, and Saunders. Montero the DH tonight, and he takes a strike. It's 0-1. Montero's first home run as a member of the Mariners was off of Tommy Malone right here on April 13th. A drive to straightaway center field. Over from the Yankees and the deal for Michael Pineda. He swings and laces one into right for a hit. Reddick plays it on a bounce, and Smoke comes to the plate, but first we pause. 10 seconds station identification on the A's radio network.
KGMZ HD1, San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose. 95.7, The Game. The Bay Area's new sound for sports.
From Safeco Field in Seattle with Ken Korak and Ray Fosse, Vince Cotroneo with you. A special thanks to our friends in Crescent City who listen to the A's on KPOD 1240 AM as part of the A's radio network. 1-0 Oakland in the 4th. Now Smoke stands in. Switch hitter batting from the right side, and the pitch swung on high pop-up behind the Mariner dugout. Smoke has been a lightning rod here with the Mariners since he came over in the deal for Cliff Lee. He was the one player that Jack Sorenzik really wanted from Texas. Smoke wasn't offered. Initially, it was Chris Davis who was offered, and that player was spurned by Seattle. They wanted Smoke, and Smoke hasn't gotten a whole lot done. 0-1 pitch. Swung up, bounced to third. In between hop, picked up by Inge. Goes to second for 1. Weeks on to first, wide throw, and Smoke is safe. A's had a chance to turn two, should have turned two, but a bad throw by Weeks, maybe interrupted a little bit by the hard-charging Montero, but Smoke is aboard, and that'll bring Saunders to the plate.
You mentioned Smoke, and he hasn't done it here, and they traded Cliff Lee, and Smoke was the big player they got in that deal. And you've got to hit on trades like that, don't you?
Well, he was supposed to be the power source. They thought he would be the middle of the lineup guy after what he was doing at Texas, or what they projected he could do here. He had 8 home runs for Texas in 2010. He had 5 for the Mariners that year as well, but some off-the-field issues last year and just poor swings this year. Now Saunders stands in, and he takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Saunders, on the other side of that coin, has reinvented himself. Spent a lot of time in the offseason working in Colorado with a special hitting coach, the brother of big league catcher Josh Bard, Mike Bard, former college coach, and helped retool the swing and help the mental attitude. A swing and a pop-up, shallow left going out for it is Pennington. Over the shoulder, can't get it. It drops softly on the grass, and everybody is safe. Saunders may have broke his bat as he just flared it right over Pennington. A helpless feeling for Cliff as it was in a shallow left. He turned back over his left shoulder and could not find it in the mitt. So Smoke is at second, 2 on and 1 out. The A's leading 1-0, and here comes Olivo. Olivo struck out on a changeup away his first time up. The Mariners drafted a catcher, number 1 overall, 3rd overall pick for them. Kid named Mike Zunino out of the University of Florida. Hasn't officially signed yet. Olivo, right-hand batter, the pitch. It's over but low, ball 1. Zunino very busy, Zarenzik said, with involved in some awards, potentially the Johnny Bench Award, Golden Spikes Award, Dick Hauser Award. It's a lot of hardware for the kid. Once all that clears, then they feel like they'll get him in here in the coming days and get that taken care of. 1-0 pitch, swung on, bounced to third. Inge has it, goes to Weeks for 1. The relay on to first in time as Weeks hangs in there. Saunders came hard and tried to tumble him, and Jemile got over him and out of the way, and the inning is over. 5-4-3, second double play tonight behind Malone, and it sends us to the top of the 5th. Oakland leads at 1-0.
Yeah, we.
You've been catching up without me, haven't you?
Well, I...
Free. Go to ChevronCards.com to learn more and apply. Seats subject to availability. Some restrictions apply. This offer administered by Chevron. 1-0 A's. On to the 5th. Here's Ken.
Seth Smith leads off for the A's and pops it up. That's playable. Short left field. Going out is the shortstop Ryan. He's back there in the rim of the outfield grass, and he makes the catch. So Smith pops out. 1 away. Brandon Inge coming up. The A's have 1 hit, but it's a difference in the game. The home run to center field by Smith. The Mariners have 6 hits. Nice night for baseball here. It's cloudy, but not too bad. Around 60 degrees. The wind is not a factor. The roof is open. The Athletics flew up here last night. Landed about 7:30.
Copper River still in season.
Copper River was awfully good last night. Yes, indeed. Now here's Inge, a right-handed hitter, and a strike on the inside corner. 0-1. Inge is 0 for 1. 33 RBIs in 34 games for the green and gold. Erasmo Ramirez, he's been impressive. The pant legs up high. Now the right-hander turns and deals the 0-1 pitch. It's on the way. Fastball for a strike. That series for the Mariners against the Padres, they lost on Friday 9-5. They won the Saturday game 5-1 behind King Felix. And then they lost yesterday 2-0. Now here's the delivery. It's on the way, and it's taken high. A fastball, 1-2. They had only 5 hits against Padres pitching yesterday. Talking about Seattle, 2 of those were by their starting pitcher, Hector Noesi. The count's 1-2. And now the delivery, and it's swung on, dribble, foul. Now the Padres and the A's won 2 out of 3 against them last weekend at the Coliseum. Of course, it's not really a natural rival, but the Mariners have always had to play the Padres 6 times every year. And this year, Seattle lost 5 out of 6. Now the 1-2 is in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Brandon Inge. A's lead 1-0 on the Smith home run to center field. It's 4:05 to straightaway center here. Down the right field line, 326. Down the left field line, it's 331. Left center, 388. Right center, 385. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Swung on line to left. Saunders is there, though, almost in his tracks, and he makes the catch. A well-hit ball. And that is out number 2, and Brandon Moss is coming up. Of course, all the adjustments and the way Moss started with the A's, you know, all the advanced scouts were sending their reports and trying to figure out, how do we get this guy out? Well, in the Giants series, he was 0 for 11. So the first bump in the road for Moss, who had that amazing start to his A's career, a left-handed hitter. Struck out in his first at-bat. 2 out, nobody on. The pitch. Breaking ball for a strike, 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. The lights are on, but they have not taken effect. Here's the 0-1 pitch by Ramirez, and Moss and a breaking ball backdoor outside, 1-1. The first game ever played at Safeco was in July of '99. Here's the 1-1 delivery to Moss. Swung on and missed. Slider down and in, 1-2. The Padres beat the Mariners in that game, 3-2. Now, didn't you do the last game at the Kingdome?
Sure did. Texas against Seattle.
Here's the 1-2 pitch now. And Moss hits a line drive, base hit center field. A solid single on an off-speed pitch right up the middle by Brandon Moss. And that'll bring up Suzuki as the A's have their second hit.
A lot of pomp and circumstance after the game. Davey House emceed a farewell of the Kingdome. A lot of dignitaries, current and former Mariners on hand. And during the game, Ken Griffey Jr., one last highlight reel catch over the wall, robbing Juan Gonzalez of a home run.
I don't think too many tears were shed, though.
No. In fact, everybody was...
With the last game at the Kingdome?
They all were fighting to be the one to put their hand on the dynamite.
2 out. Here's the pitch, and Suzuki takes a breaking ball strike on the inside corner. 1-0 A's, 2 out. Moss at first, top of the 5th at Safeco. Now the delivery and a fastball high, and the count 1 ball, 1 strike. One and 1 to Suzuki. He's 0 for 1 tonight. Moss takes his lead from first. Now the delivery by the right-hander, a fastball outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. This kid's had great stuff tonight. Third base side of the rubber. Moss takes his lead. Smoke holding on the bag. And now the 2-1 delivery. Here it is. And that's taken a slider on the outside corner. And the count 2-2. One of the last games I remember from the Kingdome was on June 24th of '97. That was the 19 strikeout game against the A's by Randy Johnson. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now here's the stretch. The delivery on the way. Swung on, bounce foul at third base. I know that was 2 years before they played their last game at the old Kingdome, which is history now. But that was the game that the A's actually won 4-1 despite the 19 Ks by the big unit, because Mark McGwire hit a home run that was a 2-iron shot. That was one of the loudest sounds I've ever heard with the ball hitting the bat.
Power versus power.
Man, great call by Bill King. Now here's the 2-2. Olivo sets up outside. It's on the way. Bounce to third, back of the bag, right to Seager. Goes to second, in time for the force, and the inning is over. And halfway through our ball game tonight at Safeco, after 4.5, the A's lead the Mariners 1-0.
Dr. Evans, your 1 o'clock is a little...
5th inning, it's 1-0 in favor of the A's over the Mariners. It's Ackley, Ryan, and Ichiro for Seattle against Tommy Malone. He's, as they say, scattered 6 hits. They've all been singles. The A's have 2 hits, but one went deep off the bat of Seth Smith. Ackley 1 for 1, a left-handed hitter. He takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Tommy Malone looking for win number 8. The kid from USC, second start against the Mariners this year. And now throws the 0-1 pitch, and Ackley takes outside 1-1. On the scoreboard, the Yankees beat Cleveland 7-1. Hiroki Kuroda got the win, his 7th. Home runs by Wise, Cano, and Swisher. Now foul back, straight back in the count 1-2. The Yankees have won 3 straight. The Indians have lost 3 straight. Toronto leads Boston 9-5 in the bottom of the 7th at Fenway. Jose Bautista, home run number 24. Here's the 1-2 to Ackley, low. When Bautista gets going, he hits him in bunches. Remember the slow start this year for Bautista?
Yeah.
He's got 24. Now the 2-2, Ackley waits and takes high. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The Tigers are leading the Rangers. It's 8-2 in the bottom of the 9th in Arlington. Josh Hamilton's homered for Texas, number 23. 3-2. Here's the delivery by Malone. It's on the way. Swung on a high pop-up, short center field. Pennington, the shortstop, is out there waiting for it, and he makes the catch. 1 away. Malone's given up 6 hits, but he hasn't walked a batter, and that'll bring up Brendan Ryan. The A's have turned a couple of double plays behind him. Ryan popped out in his first at bat. He's been scuffling this year, batting 180. Of course, if you go inside the numbers on the Mariners, we mentioned they're just 12-19 here at home. The disparity home and road, they're hitting only .202 at home, and they're batting .259 on the road. Low for a ball. Runs scored. Now, obviously, this is a pitcher's park, but this is taking it to another level. On the road, they average 4.9 runs a game. At home, they average 3.1 runs a game. Ryan swings and misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. So really a 2-run a game difference for their offense, home versus road. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way to Brendan Ryan. Rip foul left side in the lower deck. I mean, that's just not good. You got to figure out a way to make it a little better than that, don't you, Vince?
Well, you do. I mean, your home ballpark is your most comfortable surroundings. You run it more than any other place. You should do better here.
The 1-2 pitch is sprayed foul right side in the lower deck. 1-0 A's. 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the 5th. Minnesota beat the White Sox 4-1 behind Francisco Liriano. His first win this year was against the A's. And number 2 comes tonight for the Twins. He's 2-7. He bested Jake Peavy. Here's the 1-2, low, 2-2. Kansas City shut out Tampa Bay 8-0 behind Luke Hochshafer. Eric Hosmer hit his 9th home run. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Ryan. That's low. It's amazing. Certain matchups. The Royals were swept over the weekend by the Cardinals, and they gave up 30 runs in those 3 games to the Cardinals, and they fired a shutout against Tampa Bay tonight. Here's the 3-2 delivery, and Ryan a check swing foul right side out of play.
Does that fall under baseball as the most unpredictable game in the world?
You had a partner that said that a lot, didn't you?
Well, somebody I worked with, yes.
I'm sorry for the insinuation there. Here's the 3-2 pitch, the delivery. It's on the outside corner, ring him up, and Ryan on his way to first base. Can't believe it. Fastball down around the knees on the outside corner. He's rung up by Bill Miller. 2 away, and Ichiro coming up.
All that's missing was Philip Umber on the mound and a check swing by Ryan, because that's about as far as he got that day, too. And Umber had the perfect game for the White Sox, and Ryan was the last out. He thought it was ball 4, and he was well on his way to first, and he was sent packing then, too.
So here's Ichiro, is 1 for 2 with the A's leading 1-0. And the pitch to Ichiro is a strike. You know what was interesting? One of the things about that last pitch of the perfect game by Philip Umber is that Ryan's batting. He's thinking there's no way he's going to throw a breaking ball here with a perfect game on the line. Low for a ball, 1 ball, 1 strike. And sure enough, he got a slider. And he was convinced there was no way that he was going to see a slider from Philip Umber. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Strike, and that's why Ryan was so badly fooled. He swung at a bad ball. Slider out of the zone. 1-2, 2 out, bottom of the fifth. Here's the pitch to Ichiro, and it's taken outside. The count 2-2. Outfield a big gap in right center. The 2-2 to Ichiro is swung on, chip foul straight back, and the count holds. The Pirates beat the Phillies 9-5. The Pirates developing into a pretty good story. They've won 7 of 9. They're right in there at this point in the campaign. The Phillies are not. They've lost 3 in a row. They were swept by Tampa Bay yesterday. Ichiro, it's a ground ball to short. Pennington's got it. Gun to first in time for the out. Tommy Malone, a 1-2-3, bottom of the fifth. After 5, it's 1-0 Athletics.
You've heard it over and over again. Mortgage rates are at historical lows. But can you really trust an out-of-state mortgage company you've never...
A's baseball on 95.7 The Game.
Cliff Pennington leads off for the A's, top of the 6th inning. It's 1-0 in favor of the Athletics. Pennington crisp and Weeks against Erasmo Ramirez. He has been very tough. But the A's lead 1-0 on the Smith home run, and now the pitch to Pennington on the way, and a fastball taken high, and the count 1-0. Of course, they feel like they've got some young pitching on the way here that they hope will provide the foundation of future success, or for future success here. Breaking ball foul back out of play, and the count 1-1 strike. Names like a left-hander Danny Hultzen, who was just called up to AAA, made a start the other day, got hit hard down in Tacoma. A right-hander named Taiwan Walker. Here's the 1-1 to Pennington, and he swings and pops it up left side. That's foul out of play, and the count 1-2. Kid named Paxson as well, who they like. One ball, 2 strikes. A's and the Mariners, with the A's leading 1-0 in the 6th. Ramirez, third base side of the rubber. And now the 1-2 pitch, and here it is to Pennington. Swung on, ripped to right, but he hooked it too much. It's foul, back out of play. And the count 1-2. Game 2 of the series tomorrow night, featuring Travis Blackley against Jason Vargas. And then Wednesday afternoon, Jared Parker against Kevin Millwood. Now the windup by Ramirez. He throws. Here's the 1-2 to Pennington. Taken high, 2-2. Tyson Ross opens the series for the A's against the Rangers in Arlington Thursday night. And then young A.J. Griffin will make his second Major League start against Texas on Friday night. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Pennington waves at an off-speed pitch, and down he goes. So Cliff K's out number 1, and Coco Crisp is coming up. Speaking of pitching, Vince, did you see this note provided by Mike Zellick of the A's staff about Satchel Paige?
It came into my email with bells whistling.
Yeah. Looking at the A's starting pitching, and that streak has been broken because the Mariners have 6 hits tonight. So here's Coco, switch hitter batting left, with the A's leading 1-0. Seager in on the grass over at third. The pitch by Ramirez is popped up. Short left field, going out Ryan from left. Saunders is there in fair territory. He makes the catch. This kid making it look easy. So tonight marks the end of a streak that was pretty impressive by the A's starting pitchers, allowing 4 hits or fewer in each of the previous 8 games. And that was the longest streak of its kind in Oakland A's history. And there was a similar streak back in Kansas City in 1965, and the last pitcher as part of that streak, starting the 8th game of giving up 4 hits or fewer, was Satchel Paige. And at the time, he was 59. Here's Jamiel, a switch hitter batting left, and he takes a strike with a fastball. No balls and 1 strike. 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch on the way, and it's taken outside. Now, Page was well past his days of pitching in the big leagues, but he was brought back as kind of a special thing, a little bit of a novelty or promotion. And he became the oldest player in Major League history making that start at 59. Weeks fouls it back, and the count 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You know, it's a pretty short list of people from the past that you wish you could have seen perform in their prime. And sure, they're all the great ones, Ruth and Cobb and Johnson and Matheson. But Satchel Paige is right there on that list for me. I would have loved to have seen that arm and that control.
He pitched 3 innings in that game and allowed just 1 hit. Shutout frames. The 1-2 is swung on and missed. A changeup. Oliva with the ball in the dirt tags Weeks, and the inning is over. I think I watched that game on TV, actually. And I'm really dating myself, right? All right, we go to the bottom of the 6th. It's 1-0 in favor of the A's.
Hey, this is Whitey Gleason from the Rise Guys, 6 to 10 a.m., and you're listening to A's Baseball on 95.7 The Game, the Bay Area's new sound for sports.
Franklin Gutierrez leads it off for Seattle. Bottom of the 6th inning. It's 1-0 A's. Pitcher is in command tonight. Gutierrez, Seager, and Montero against Tommy Malone. He's allowed 6 hits and hasn't walked a batter. Gutierrez, a right-handed hitter. The pitch, strike on the outside corner, 0-1. The A's back home on Monday night, beginning a 3-game series against the Red Sox. The fireworks show follows the game a week from tomorrow night. We'd love to see you when the A's get back home. Now here's the windup by Malone, and the 0-1 pitch to Franklin Gutierrez, in for a strike, and it's 0-2. 56 strikes in only 22 balls for Malone so far. Now ready for the 0-2 to Gutierrez. And the delivery is on the way to Franklin. Taken low, and it's 1-2. So the A's a run on 2 hits. The Mariners no runs on 6 hits. Gutierrez is 1 for 2. Malone up on top. The lefty from USC throws the 1-2 pitch, and it's swung on, dribble, foul, straight back. Well, the Rangers lost that ball game to the Tigers 8-2. And so Texas loses for the 29th time. They're 45-29. Of course, they dominated the National League during interleague play. They were 14-4. Here comes the 1-2 to Gutierrez. Reach for, dribble, foul down the third base line. 1-2. Eric Wedge, second year managing this club. Carl Willis is their pitching coach. Great hitter, the left-handed hitter Chris Chambliss, the hitting coach. The former Giant Robbie Thompson is their bench coach. And over the years, one of Bob Melvin's closest friends in baseball. Here's the 1-2 taken high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Melvin was talking about his time with the Giants and saying that his closest friends on those Giants teams were guys like Bob Brenly and Mike Eldreddy and Robbie Thompson. Here's the 2-2, and it's taken outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Not Rob Thompson, who coaches third base for the Yankees. So Malone with Gutierrez, a right-handed hitter. Coco in center, 2 or 3 steps toward right center. And here's the delivery on the way, the 3-2, bounce, foul, left of the bag at third. The count holds. The last time the Mariners, and of course their attendance has been dwindling, and if you're the A's, the atmosphere here tonight not quite what it was over the weekend. But their last postseason was back in 01 when they had that remarkable 116 win campaign. Here's the 3-2 pitch, a ground ball to short. Pennington waits for the hop, gonna have to gun it across, and he does in time for the out. Gutierrez out 6-3, 1 away, and Kyle Seager is coming up.
What a great equalizer that is for Pennington. We've seen it for 3 years now. Slow hit ball, fast runner, even out of the box from the right side, and yet Cliff can get it with the ball in front of him instead of having to rush on the backhand and make an off-balance throw with that tremendous arm strength.
So here's Seager, who's 0 for 2. He's a left-handed hitter. Came in batting .262. The Mariners at 0-1 ball club. They beat Cleveland in the division series and lost to the Yankees in the ALCS. Now Seager takes a strike on the outside corner. 1-0 in favor of the A's. Of course, the A's last postseason was in 06. When the Mariners actually made a run at the Athletics in August, but they really faded down the stretch that year in 06. Now Seager, it's a fly ball left center field, playable for Seth Smith. He's there, and he makes the catch, and that's out number 2. And right now Tommy Malone has authored a gem coming off that great effort against the Dodgers on Wednesday when he allowed just 3 hits and a run, going 9. He's leading 1-0 with 2 out in the 6th, and Jesus Montero is coming up.
I think one thing that's been impressive to watch in the game against the Dodgers and continuing tonight against Seattle is that Tommy Malone has added more to the repertoire. And he said this after the complete game against the Dodgers. He said, I thought everything was working in that game, not just fastball changeup, and that applies again tonight.
Here's the delivery now, and Montero takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. 1-0 A's. Here's the delivery. It's an 0-1 on the way, and it's taken for a strike. If the A's were to win the game tonight, if you go back over the last 13 games, the A's and Rangers would have the same record, with Texas losing tonight, 10-3. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on line, foul, right side out of play, but it's only 1-0. But that's rough. If you go 10-3 over a 13-game stretch and you gain nothing.
That's why timing is so important, that you have to be hot at the right time trying to catch the team ahead of you while they stumble.
Here's the pitch. Montero takes outside, 1-2. Well, you're right.
I mean, that's what the Angels had there for a period of time that allowed them to close that gap. At one point, they were at 9.5 back in April.
This will be pitch number 91 from Malone, and the 1-2 on the way. Waved that pitch in the dirt. Montero is down on strike. So 1-2-3 6th for Tommy Malone. After 6, it's still 1-0 A's.
Baseball fans, the slots are loaded and you're up.
This is Kurt Suzuki, and you're listening to Oakland A's Baseball on 95.7 The Game.
After 6 innings, the A's still lead the Mariners 1-0. 7th inning, here's Vince.
Reddick, Cespedes, and Smith, 3, 4, and 5 against Ramirez. He has been very tough, although the A's lead it 1-0, despite being out-hit 6-2. Josh has struck out, and he has walked. Left-hand batter with an upright stance, awaiting the delivery from Ramirez. It is a changeup, and it floats outside, ball 1. Ramirez with an abbreviated motion to the plate. He's off the extreme third base side of the mound, has his hands near the belt, then brings them up toward the chest, turns and delivers. A swing and a late cut foul behind third base. It's impressive that out of that motion, there isn't a whole lot of swing in his body that he's able to generate the kind of arm speed that has seen him touch 96 miles an hour tonight. This kid made the club out of spring training because of the electricity in his arm, just a power arm that they wanted to kind of nurse along in some low leverage situations. Breaking ball low, ball 2, 2 balls and a strike, and then the Mariners were the last team in the American League that had to go beyond their 5th starter, and they did so when Blake Bevan, after struggling, was sent back to the minor leagues, and Ramirez was put in his place. 2-1 pitch popped up out of play. Ramirez started the year in the Mariners bullpen, then was optioned back to AAA. That's where he made some starts, stretched out the arm again, and then came back to the big leagues. And this is his 3rd start. He has pitched much more effectively tonight than he did in his previous 2 games against Arizona and San Diego. But the A's lead at 1-0 in the 7th. Here's another 2-2. Swung on late, foul behind third base, high in the air, and another souvenir for the folks here in the Pacific Northwest. It appears that the A's bullpen will be a factor tonight as Malone closes in on 100 pitches through 6, even though he has not walked a batter. 2-2 swing and a miss. Good breaking ball down and in. Finishes off Reddick. That is 8 strikeouts for Ramirez. And here comes Cespedes.
This is not a fluky deal on his part either. I mean, this has been legitimate stuff.
Well, he showed it from the opening act, the first inning when he struck out the side. And now Cespedes comes to the plate. Some good news out of the A's minor league system. We heard some comments last week when the A's were home from the 2 supplemental picks that signed with the A's. The shortstop, Daniel Robertson from Upland High School in Southern California, and the first baseman, Matt Olson from Parkview, Georgia High School. Made his debut for the Arizona A's yesterday, and on the very first pitch as a professional, Matt Olson hit it out. A swing and a high pop-up behind the plate. A levo for a look, but it's well back in the crowd for strike 1. And Olson in that game went 4 for 5. How about that for a debut? Yesterday for the Arizona A's, he went 4 for 5 with 2 doubles, a home run, and 4 RBIs.
Well, that was like Tommy Milone in his first major league at bat.
Against Dylan G of the Mets. Hit it out. 1 strike pitch to Ioannis. Fastball, good delivery on the outer half. A strike taken, and it's 0-2. We're in the 7th. The A's lead at 1-0, and that run scored back in the 2nd on a first pitch home run to dead center off the bat of Seth Smith. It was his 8th of the year. And Milone has made it stand up to this point. 0-2, outside, missed with a fastball at 95 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Addison Russell, the A's #1 overall pick, has played in 3 games. He's gone 2 for 10. A couple of RBIs. The youngster out of Pace High School in the Panhandle of Florida. 1-2, swing and a miss. Terrific changeup, and Cespedes is down on strikes. And Cespedes, as the ball squirted away from Olivo, just turns and walks back to the dugout. It'll be interesting to see as Ramirez collects his 9th strikeout if the at-bats will be any different tomorrow for Cespedes when he goes back to the field. Bob Melvin's not going to play him every day in the outfield, but he's going to play tomorrow. We don't know yet if it's going to be center to give Coco a day off or left field. And we have talked about the guy coming to the plate, Seth Smith, and what he has done as a guy as the DH this year for this year's the A's, or as an outfielder. He's the outfielder today, and he's hit a home run. Slow breaking ball outside, 1-0.
Melvin's sense, and of course there is the language barrier, although it's getting better with Cespedes, and Ariel Prieto interpreting that he doesn't quite feel complete as a player when he's DHing. I think it may pick up when he plays the field again.
1-0, change over but low, 2 balls and no strikes. And Seth Smith, as an A's DH this year, batting 178, but all 8 of his home runs and 20 of his RBIs have come as an outfielder. He's got the count in his favor, 2-0. A's leading 1-0. Here's the pitch. Fastball belted down the right field line, but he hooked it foul. Definitely had home run distance, but a bit too quick with the trigger. Now 2 balls and a strike.
Well, there's going to be plenty of playing time. There is once again only a 3-man bench. And you're going to see Hicks out there tomorrow. You're going to see Johnny Gomes play tomorrow. You'll see Derek Norris behind the plate tomorrow.
2-1, swing and a miss. Boy, he really pulled the string nicely. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. A crowd clamoring for Ramirez to end with a flourish and strike out the side for the 2nd time. He's looking for number 10. A's leading 1-0. Ramirez gets the sign from Olivo. The righty turns, 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Got him upstairs, high octane at 95 miles an hour. This kid is 22. He's pitching like a veteran, and he's got some live stuff tonight. The A's go 1-2-3, and Ramirez has 10 Ks, including 4 A's in a row. Midway through the 7th, though, Oakland in front, 1-0.
For 80 years.
This is Josh Reddick, and you're listening to Oakland A's Baseball on 95.7 The Game.
Justin Smoak starts the bottom of the 7th for Seattle. Tommy Milone pitching with a slim 1-0 lead. First pitch breaking ball. A good curve drops in for strike 1 on Smoak, who has not got the ball out of the infield tonight. A ground ball to first and a ground ball to third base. From the University of South Carolina, drives from the opposite field. Back is Reddick toward the corner with room. He'll make a catch belt high. And Smoak is retired. Well, there has been some rain tonight at Fenway Park. Toronto in last place, but over 500 in the Olivo waiting on deck. Outfield playing Saunders the pull. A flare single just behind Pennington. His last time up, he's 1 for 2. And a sinking fastball away misses. 3 balls and no strikes. Milone has not walked a batter today. His 4th 3-ball count, and there's a strike taken. It's 3-1. Yankees behind Hiroki Kuroda beat Cleveland 7-1. Tigers with Rick Porcello beating Texas 8-2. 3-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Chase went upstairs. Fills the count. There was some importance in that victory for Porcello. Even with his mark at 5-5, he went into that game with a career ERA at better than 12 lifetime against Texas, so he exercised some demons tonight. 3-2 pitch, fastball, got him on the inside corner. Saunders gone a-looking. As Malone fell behind 3-0, then reeled him all the way back in with his 5th K of the night. Terrific inside corner pitch. Suzuki didn't move the glove, and Saunders had no beep whatsoever. Now Olivo will stand in. He has struck out, bounced into a double play, 5-4-3. Bottom of the 7th, A's in front, 1-0. The windup, the pitch. Fastball strike to the outside corner. For every A's win this season, Grant Thornton donates $500 to the Oakland Schools Foundation, supporting Oakland schools. Innovation wins, doing your homework wins, investing in growth wins. Visit grantthornton.com for your audit, tax, and advisory needs. The 1-strike pitch comes up there short, bounces to the plate, and evens the count at 1-1. Minnesota behind Francisco Liriano. Many say the subject of trade rumors, he's pitched much better, starting with his game against the Athletics in late May as a restart for his season. He gets a second win. They beat the White Sox 4-1. 1-1 pitch fouled off to the right. Kevin Youkilis started in that game for Chicago, played third base, and he batted second tonight for Robin Ventura's ball club as he made his Pale Hose debut. As the team arrived at the ballpark today, Adam Dunn showed up wearing a Red Sox Kevin Youkilis jersey and then placed it on his chair. Next delivery, a change outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Olivo. Good stretch going here for Malone, beginning with the ground ball double play from Olivo. He's retired 9 batters in a row. Youkilis was 1 for 4 in his White Sox debut. 2-2 pitch. Swung on, lined out of play off to the right. Tommy had 105 pitches on the night.
One of his best games of the year was against the White Sox at home, Malone.
Well, you know, he threw a couple of shutout games as he made his Coliseum debut. 2-2, swung on line to center field, charging on Coco, can't get it. It's a soft humpback liner that lands for a hit. Ends the string of consecutive outs at 9. Or consecutive batters retired at 9 for Malone. And here comes Dustin Ackley.
April 24th, the A's behind Malone and Grant Balfour shut out the White Sox 2-0. At that time, Hawk Harrelson, of course, doing the TV for the White Sox, said that was the best game at that point in the season thrown by a starting pitcher against the White Sox.
Some heady praise. Now Ackley, he's got some power. He's hit 4 this year. Fastball outside, ball 1. You like to get out of town before this guy heats up again, because when the A's and the Mariners last got together, they projected this guy as a solid number 3 hitter. He's gone through a sophomore slump, and particularly in June, and trying to fight his way out of it. The next pitch just nudges the outside corner, lefty on lefty. That's 1 ball and 1 strike. He made his major league debut last year against the Phillies and singled against Roy Oswalt, and then homered the next night against Sacramento's Vance Worley, also with the Phillies. The toss to first base, Olivo back standing up. In 90 games, he had 16 doubles, 7 triples, 6 homers, and 36 RBIs. He batted .273. Number 1 pick, 2nd overall in 2009 behind Steven Strasburg. 1-1 pitch, strike to the outside corner. 1-2. Everybody knew that Strasburg was the most accomplished college pitcher of that year and of many years. And many felt that Ackley was the most accomplished college hitter at that time. He's played several positions. Some think that he might eventually go back to center field. We'll have to wait and see on that. 1-2 pitch, swung on, bounced on the right side. To his left, Weeks gets the in-between hop on to first in time, and Malone has gone 7 shutout frames in Seattle, blanking the Mariners. We're on to the 8th. It's 1-0 Oakland.
4th of July travel is just around.
We've completed 7. So far, a drive by Seth Smith is the difference. Oakland leads at 1-0. On to the 8th, and here's Ken.
Brandon Inge leads off for the A's against the right-hander Ramirez. The A's have 2 hits. The Mariners have 7. And so Ramirez goes to work on the A's third baseman, who's 0 for 2 tonight. Olivo sets up outside. The pitch is taken for a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Inge is bounced out and lined out. The only run coming on the home run by Smith in the second. The A's other hit was the base hit by Moss up the middle in the 5th. Outside corner strike, and the count 0-2. With all the games the A's and Mariners play every year, I imagine this won't be the first time that we're going to see Erasmo Ramirez matched up against Tommy Malone. Now the 0-2 pitch. The delivery is on the way, and here it is. It's swung on line to right. Ichiro coming on. He's not going to get it. Has to play it on a hop, so a base hit to right by Inge, and the A's have a start here in the 8th inning. And this by far the longest start of the brief big league career for Ramirez. Brandon Moss coming up, and he's 1 for 2.
So you think it might be like a couple of years ago when Trevor Cahill and Kobe Lewis, Oakland and Texas, faced each other, 5 or 6 times?
Didn't Kobe Lewis pitch in every series the A's played against the Rangers last year? So Ramirez, third base side of the rubber. Moss, a left-hander hitter. A short lead by Inge. The pitch to Moss. Swung on and missed. 0-1. 1-0 A's. Let's see, Ramirez in his last start in AAA, and that was for Tacoma against Salt Lake on June 8th. 8 innings in that game. To 107 pitches. So 107, the highest pitch total this year for Ramirez. The 0-1 delivery high and tight under his chin, a fastball 93. We're talking about the other 3, the so-called big 3 for the Mariners coming up in their organization. Taijuan Walker, who's been compared by some to a young Doc Gooden. Then Danny Hultzen and James Paxton. Here's the 1-1 fastball inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. They're all big kids, 6'3" or taller. They all throw between, let's say, 94 and 99. 2 balls and 1 strike to Moss. The lead at first by Inge. Smoke holding on the bag. Now out of the stretch. And here's the 2-1 delivery, and it's swung on and missed. Slider down and in. Tough pitch, 2-2. Of course, when you've lost a lot, I think fans tire a little bit of the conversation revolving around kids. The Mariners last year they used 18 rookies. Now the 2-2 pitch is swung on, lifted foul, left side out of play. 12 of those 18 rookies made their big league debuts last year with Seattle. But at some point, all that has to come to fruition. It has to translate in the win-loss column. 2-2. 8th inning, 1-0 A's. A leadoff single by Inge. Now Ramirez peeks over his shoulder at first. Moss waits, and the 2-2 delivery. Here it is, and it's swung on a double play ball to short. Ryan on the bag for 1. Routine, a 6-3 double play. It took the shortstop Ryan about 2 steps from the bag at second. And quickly, the 6-3 double play here in the 8th inning. And Suzuki's coming up.
Well, you talk about all those young players, and the reality is the last impact young player for the Mariners probably is the pitcher, Felix Hernandez. That's their own homegrown talent. I mean, Ackley they think is coming, but he's certainly not there yet. Gutierrez had some moments, but he wasn't an original Seattle player.
So here's Suzuki, a right-handed hitter, 1-0 in favor of the A's. Top of the 8th inning and nobody on. And Kurt takes a strike on the outside corner, a slider, 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch with 2 out. And it's on the way, and it's taken outside. Of course, looking at the A's, if the A's are going to have success, the foundation will have to be laid by their young starting pitching. Now the 1-1 pitch. Outfield straight away. It's on the way. Olivo sets up outside. Drilled to left. Foul left of the foul pole. 1-2. And we've seen This year, I think Jared Parker and Tommy Malone have been outstanding.
Well, Tommy's been very consistent. He was consistent from the first day of spring training. He impressed the A's immediately with his ability to place the ball consistently, and that has continued into a major league season. I mean, Jared Parker's had great stuff. He struggled in the spring, and he's had great moments here.
Here's the 1-2 to Suzuki. Swung on a one-hopper to second, right to Ackley, who fields and throws. The inning is over. We're going to the bottom of the 8th inning, and it's still a 1-0 lead for the A's.
KGMC, KGMC HD1, San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose. 95.7, The Game. The Bay Area's new sound for sports.
I'm Professor Burke on the Wheelhouse, 10-2 Monday.
As we go to the bottom of the 8th inning with the A's clinging to a 1-0 lead, a pitching change for the A's as Grant Balfour comes out of the bullpen. And we'll pause 10 seconds to allow our stations to identify themselves on the Oakland A's radio network.
KGMC, KGMC HD1, San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose. 95.7, The Game. The Bay Area's new sound for sports.
Along with Vince Cotroneo and Ray Fosse, I'm Ken Korak. It's great to have you with us. Balfour 1-1 at 2.75 ERA. He's allowed 23 hits in 36 innings. He's walked 15 and struck out 29. The former Tampa Bay Ray, John Jaso, a left-handed hitter, is going to pitch hit for Ryan in the 9 spot. So Jaso, Ichiro, and Gutierrez. The A's a run on 3 hits. The Mariners, no runs on 7 hits. What an effort by Tommy Malone. These two young pitchers have dazzled tonight. There must be some rain in the area, Vince, because the roof is closing here at the ballpark. Now here's the pitch to Jaso, and he takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. As we speak, the roof is moving on its tracks. Out over center field right now. And coming toward us. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Check swing, pitch in the dirt. Jaso goes around, the count 0-2 to John Jaso. He's batting .260, 2 home runs and 16 RBIs. He's always been a pretty high on-base percentage guy. In fact, there was one stretch with Tampa Bay in which Joe Madden batted Jaso in the leadoff spot. This year's on-base percentage .368. He takes right down the middle. Fastball, ring him up, strike 3 called. Jaso K's, 1 away. Bottom of the 8th, he is leading 1-0. Ichiro coming up.
Boy, it seems like Grant Balfour has that look again that allowed him to win the job of closer in spring training. He carried it out through early part of the season, early May, when he had 7 saves. And lights out, 93-94. He's working both sides of the plate.
So Ichiro, 5 to left, singled and bounced out. 1-0 A's, bottom of the 8th. Inge on the grass at third. Balfour delivers a fastball strike at 93, and it's 0-1. Gutierrez is on deck. Ichiro lifetime against Balfour is 5 for 10. Outfield a big gap in right center. The pitch, curveball, a beauty, 0-2. We've seen some pitching tonight. Tom Wilhelmsen is now the closer for the Mariners up in their bullpen. 0-2. Here's the windup. The pitch to Ichiro. Swung on, tapped down to short. Charging Pennington. He has it. Quick throw to first, and just in time. You cannot hesitate with Ichiro going down the line. A good play. Charging Pennington. The quick throw from short. And Ichiro is out number 2. And that'll bring up Franklin Gutierrez. Well, Ryan Cook in the 9th inning is going to have to get back up on the horse after that tough outing against the Giants on Friday night.
Has to have better command. And the big key for him is the first batter he faces.
A's 1, Mariners nothing. 2 out, bottom of the 8th. Now here's Balfour ready. The turn, the pitch on the way. Fastball low and outside. 1-0 to Franklin Gutierrez. He's 1 for 3. He had 4 hits against the Padres on Friday night. He has 2 home runs in his last 14 at bats. Now the pitch swung on. Fly ball center field. Coco went back. Now coming on. He's there. And he makes the catch. And Balfour, a 1-2-3 bottom of the 8th after 8. Still 1-0 A's.
At Washington Hospital.
Hey, it's Whitey Gleason, and we're going to recap today's game with former A's slugger David Justice tomorrow morning at 8:30 right here on 95.7 The Game.
The right-hander Tom Wilhelmsen comes out of the bullpen for the Mariners. Our game goes to the top of the ninth inning. It's still 1-0 A's. It was 1-0 A's after 1.5. After the home run by Seth Smith. And now Pennington leads it off. Munenori Kawasaki takes over at shortstop for the Mariners after Jaso batted for Brendan Ryan. And now Pennington, Crisp, and Weeks against Wilhelmsen, who's 3-1 with a 2.92 ERA. Hard-throwing right-hander. 46 strikeouts in 37 innings for Wilhelmsen. Here's the 1-0 pitch, or the delivery, with the A's leading 1-0, taken for a strike, 0-1. So Ramirez went 8, and Malone went 7 for the A's. Here's the delivery taken outside in the count, 1-1. Ryan Cook up and throwing in the A's bullpen. Ninth inning, it's 1-0 in favor of the A's. Wilhelmsen, the pat legs up high, now delivers. Here's the 1-1 pitch, swung on, lifted to left field. Saunders coming over toward the line. He's there and he makes the catch, 1 away. Ramirez, 8 innings, 3 hits, a run. He walked 1 and struck out 10. Malone for the A's goes 7 hits, no runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts. 110 pitches for Tommy Malone.
Yeah, and Ramirez went an inning longer, had 5 more strikeouts and 7 less pitches. That's how impressive his performance was.
So here's Coco's 0 for 3. Wilhelmsen up on top of the hill. Seager in on the grass over at third. And now the delivery on the way and taken inside. This is the guy who took a somewhat circuitous path to the big leagues, Tom Wilhelmsen.
He's got to be excited that the University of Arizona won the College World Series tonight. He lives in Tucson, spent a lot of years out of baseball pouring beers right around the corner from the U of A campus.
Spent some time with a backpack in Europe as well. Now the 1-0 pitch and a check swing. Coco goes and the count 1-1. But the A's pitching has been such a remarkable story, really the best run of pitching in the history of the franchise. And we're talking about a century here or more. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wilhelmsen, here's the delivery. Olivo sets up outside. Coco takes low, 2-1. Over the last 11 games, the A's pitchers have allowed 56 hits. That's 5 hits a game for the last 11 games. 2-1 the count. Seager even with the bag over at third. Wilhelmsen turns. Olivo sets up away. The pitch is swung on line to center. That's right where Gutierrez is. He comes in about 3 steps and he makes the catch. 2 out. Weeks coming up. The Mariners, Seager, Montero, and Smoke will be due up in the bottom of the 9th inning. And here's Jemile, who's 0 for 3. It would be the 8th win this year for Tommy Malone. But 3 pretty tough hitters to get for Mr. Cook. Here's the delivery to Weeks. On the way by Wilhelmsen. It's taken low, 1-0. If the A's hold on and Malone gets win number 8, he would be 6th in the American League in wins. Outfield a gap in right center. The pitch to Jemile by Wilhelmsen is taking a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. Only David Price, Matt Harrison, Yu Darvish, Ivan Nova, and CC Sabathia would have more wins than Malone, but the A's still need 3 outs. This will be a 1-1 pitch with 2 out. Wilhelmsen rocks into the windup and throws, and Jemile takes outside on the count, 2-1.
I like to compare their run support to Tommy Malone's run support over the course of this part of the season, and I think Tommy would say that he's done more with less.
The 2-1 pitch on the way. The delivery, here it is. It's taken low, and it's 3-1. They're doing the wave at Safeco Field.
Well, I didn't hear the announced crowd, but it's more of a low tide, actually.
17,101. Low tide out on the Puget Sound. Here's the 3-1 delivery, and Jamal takes a strike at the knees. The count 3-2. 1-0 A's. 2 out, nobody on. Top of the ninth. Here's the delivery by Wilhelmsen with 2 out. The 3-2 is on the way, and it's swung on, hit down the left field side, foul out of play. I'll tell you this, it was packed with people at the public market this morning. Ton of people over there. What a great spot. Now the fans are being told to make noise. Up on the big screen here, and now the 3-2 delivery to Weeks is swung on and missed down and in. PKs, we go to the bottom of the ninth. The A's hoping to hold on to a 1-0 lead over Seattle.
Hey there, A's fans.
.com/Bay Area BBQ. If you order tasting tickets, they must be picked up at the event.
It's Coco Crisp, and you're listening to Oakland A's baseball on 95.7 The Game.
Folks, First United Services Credit Union is proud to sponsor the Home Runs for Hunger program, supporting the Alameda County Community Food Bank. For every Oakland A's home run, First United Services Credit Union will donate $50 to the Alameda County Community Food Bank. So far this year, the total is up to $3,400. So $3,400 at this point will be donated to the Alameda County Community Food Bank on behalf of First United Services Credit Union. So here's Ryan Cook out of the bullpen for the A's, with the A's leading 1-0 over the Mariners. He is 2-2 with a 1.71 ERA, 4 saves. He's allowed 11 hits in 31 2/3 innings. The issue, if there's been one, has been the 20 walks in 31 2/3 innings. And when he had that tough outing against the Giants Friday night, he did not get an out. And he allowed 4 runs, walked 2, and gave up 2 hits to San Francisco when the A's had the lead going to the top of the 9th inning. And he walked the first 2 batters he faced, and that was after, in the Thursday game against the Dodgers in the 9th inning, he walked the first batter he faced. So here's Seager coming up, and he's 0 for 3. 1 run, 3 hits for the A's. No runs, 7 hits for the Mariners. Seager, Montero, and Smoke. Inge, edge of the grass over at third. Cook, first base side of the rubber, delivers, and a fastball strike at the knees, 0-1. Fastball 97. Coco in center pretty deep, shaded by 2 or 3 steps toward right center. Deep and right straightaway is Reddick. And now the 0-1 pitch by Cook is swung on, foul back, fastball again. Pounding the strike zone with a couple heaters at 97. Grant Balfour continued a nice run. 1-2-3, bottom of the 8th inning with 1 K. The roof is covering the playing field now. So now Seager, a left-handed hitter, came in batting .262. Cook ready, kicks, throws, and a breaking ball outside corner. Ring him up, strike 3 called, perfect pitch. Seager knew it, he turns and walks away, and that's out number 1. 2 fastballs, then a perfect slider on the corner. And here's Montero. He's a tough hitter. He's 2 for 3 tonight. He has 2 of the 7 hits for Seattle. This would be the 8th shutout for the A's pitching staff. Montero, right-handed hitter, 1-0 A's in the 9th. The pitch, slider, strike, and the outside corner, 0-1. Cook has come out, 4 pitches and 4 strikes. The outfield very deep, no doubles, and they're shaded the other way. They're playing toward right. Cook delivers the pitch, fastball, foul back. That got a piece of the plate umpire, Bill Miller. And the count 0-2. Inge at third, back of the bag, hugging the line, and now Suzuki is going to buy some time for the plate umpire. He's out to the mound, and the count 0-2. Now Cook with a new baseball, rubbing it up. It would be the USC parlay for the Athletics, with Malone starting the game and Cook looking to finish it. Justin Smoke is on deck. 1-0 1 out, nobody on, bottom of the 9th. Cook, first base side of the rubber. And the 0-2 delivery, breaking ball inside, and the count 1-2. Came up with the Yankees, came over for Michael Pineda. Here's the stretch. This will be a 1-2 pitch. It's on the way. Swung on and missed. A slider down and away. Back-to-back Ks for Cook. And smoke is coming up. And the A's are 1 out away from a 1-0 win over Seattle. Justin Smoke is 0 for 3. His struggles mirroring those of the Mariners offense in their home ballpark. Batting just 176 here. Switch hitter batting left. Cook sets. Here's the pitch. Slider inside back of the screen, almost hit him. And the count 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes. 2 out, nobody on. Bottom of the 9th. 1-0 A's. The only run, the home run by Smith in the top of the 2nd. The outfield deep toward right. The infield is playing Smoke to pull as well. Moss back of the bag, close to the line over at first. The 1-0 pitch is outside and the count 2-0. Two balls and no strikes. Saunders on deck. Cook sets. Out of the stretch. The 2-0 is outside. Now it's 3 balls and no strikes. So 3-0 to Justin Smoke. Steps out, checks with the third base coach Jeff Datz. So the count 3-0. Now ready, the 3-0 delivery with 2 out. And here it is, and that's high and outside, ball 4. 2 strikeouts and a walk. That's kind of the season for Cook in microcosm. And now Michael Saunders, a left-handed hitter, is coming up. They're going to run for Smoke with the forgotten man here, Sean Figgins. So Figgins running at first for Smoke. Saunders is 1 for 3, has 8 home runs, 24 runs batted in. A's 1, Mariners nothing. Now Paddington comes in from shortstop. Whispers a couple things to Cook. Now in his day, Figgins was a major stolen base threat. His day really hasn't been for about 3 years, though. He leads at first. 2 out, bottom of the 9th, 1-0 A's. Now Cook, first base side of the rubber. Saunders, a left-handed hitter. Quick throw to first, and Figgins is back. Figgins last year for the Mariners had 11 steals. Here's the delivery with 2 out in. It's swung on, foul back. And Figgins last year with the Angels in 09, he had 42 stolen bases. A's 1, Mariners nothing. 2 out, Saunders up in the outfield. A big gap in left center, very deep in right, straightaway Reddick. Crisp in center, about 3 steps toward right center. Smith in left, a step toward left center field. Figgins leads at first. Here's the delivery on the way. Check swing, fastball up and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Once again for the Athletics, the ball game coming down to the final at bat. Saunders out of the box, the big kid from Victoria, British Columbia. Cook, first base side of the rubber. Figgins a short lead, and now the 1-1 delivery is on the way. Taken right down the middle, fastball, strike. Fastball 96, 1-2 to Michael Saunders. Now Cook plants his back foot, working from the first base side. Saunders a slightly open stance. The lead at first by Figgins. And now the 1-2 pitch on the way. Here it is. Breaking ball tapped to the right side. Weeks has got it. He throws in time for the out. Another tremendous night of pitching for the Oakland A's, as the combination of Malone, Balfour, and Cook shut out the Mariners on 7 hits. It's the 8th shutout for the A's pitching staff this year. The final score in Seattle, as the A's take the first game of the series. The A's 1 and the Mariners nothing. Back with the totals after this.
Bye, right, Bart.
And the final totals for the Athletics: a run on 3 hits, no errors, they left 1. And for the Mariners, no runs on 7 hits, no errors, they left 6. The winning pitcher is Tommy Malone. And for Malone, his record is now 8-5. The loser is Erasmo Ramirez. And Ramirez's record is 0-2. The time of the ball game was a crisp 2 hours and 18 minutes. And the attendance, 17,101. By the way, for Ryan Cook, it's his 5th save of the campaign. The only run coming on the home run by Seth Smith. For the A's, the 8th shutout for their pitching staff. It's the 9th time the Mariners have been shut out this year. The A's have won 10 of their last 13 games. They're back to within 2 games of the 500 mark. It's 36-38. The Mariners have lost 11 of their last 15, and they're now 31-44. We invite you to stay tuned for our postgame show, and then after the postgame and following every A's broadcast, Chris Townsend standing by taking your phone calls. He'll be along with A's Talk on our flagship station. Chris has the Dugout Show tomorrow beginning at 6. Vince, the pregame at 6:30. Ray Fosse, the warm-up. That's when the A's Network joins our broadcasting at 6:45. And Game 2 of the series coming up tomorrow at 7:10 Pacific Time. Craig Davidson engineering for us, and John Trinidad back in our studios. Ken Korak for Vince and Ray. Stay tuned for the postgame. Again, the final. The A's won, and the Mariners nothing.